Hey guys, what is going on? This is Travis P11. I'd like to welcome you back to the channel, and yet we strike another loss for us freedom-loving, law-abiding American citizens. So back around 2015, 2016, Facebook had basically banned or deleted any groups that were dedicated to the buying, selling, or trading of firearms. Even though these groups were not breaking any laws and those groups did moderate themselves, Facebook didn't want that. Their advertisers didn't want that. So Facebook got rid of us. Well, a lot of us went over to a website called MeWe. Now, MeWe was kind of this little bastion of hope in social media as they talk about how they don't care what group you are or what you represent, just so long as you don't break the law, and you would be allowed to have firearms groups. Well, I belong to roughly a dozen of these buy, sell, trade firearms groups located in Nebraska. And I just noticed some activity on an old video that I did back in 2016 talking about how awesome MeWe is. Well, people are posting comments on that video saying, well, so much for freedom loving because they're now banning gun groups. Now, I have not reached out to MeWe directly. I'm going to email them and ask them. I happen to have a page over on MeWe, but it's not dedicated to the buying, selling, or trading of firearms, but I'm going to reach out to them anyway. So I did a little bit of hunting around online to see if I could find any information about what's going on. And I noticed that there's some posts. MeWe has not officially come out and made a statement stating that they're banning any kind of buying, selling, or trading of gun groups. But a couple things are happening. So first of all, when I'm doing some Google searches, I'm noticing that there's now more gun groups that are mentioning that their MeWe pages have been deleted. Mississippi Gun Owners Group is gone. The New Jersey Gun Group is now gone. Also, a Texas Gun Owners in Texas group is now gone. So what was interesting is when I went into the Texas Gun Talk little message board and chat, a person that goes by the name of Outrider, and this was posted just on Monday, I believe July 26th. There was a couple screenshots here at the bottom. Now, these could be fake, but I'm going to guess they're going to be real, and I'll show you why here in a little bit. When I clicked on those two little tabs, at least the one on the left-hand side, the most relevant one, there was a message from James Atwood at MeWe Support, and the person said, in order to reduce scammers and to promote a safe space on MeWe, we've decided to remove all groups dedicated to the sale and trade of firearms. Even though these groups know that they could get themselves in trouble if they were to do anything illegal with their firearms. In fact, the groups that I belong to were very heavily moderated. If you didn't follow the rules, because we wanted these groups to stay up, and these groups have been up for 5 or 6 years now, we followed all of our state laws and rules. Well, MeWe doesn't want that. And so when I went over to my MeWe account and scrolled on the left-hand side, about 8 of the actual buy, sell, trade gun groups that I belong to are now gone. All the messages in my conversations have been deleted with other people from those groups. And there's a few groups that are still around. I'm not going to call them off, but you can see some of the names on the left-hand side. It doesn't matter because anything that has to do with gun ownership, MeWe's going to move us out anyway. But anyway, those groups are probably going to get deleted anyway. So it's not a very good thing when a website like MeWe, which tries to be everything that Facebook is not, which is a social networking site that's dedicated to not selling your personal data, to allowing you to have personal freedom, to do whatever you want to do, as long as you're not breaking the law, which none of us were breaking the law. They just decide to go ahead and say, no, we don't want you here, goodbye. And the other interesting thing about MeWe is they really didn't have any advertisers. They had some subscription services that you could sign up for and so on if you wanted some enhanced, features from the group. Honestly, I'm probably just going to go ahead and close down my MeWe account. There's no point staying in here anymore. And I'm just going to go ahead and let it go. So again, it's very sad because MeWe was very promising with how they looked at your personal data and how they said they wouldn't sell it and how they said that, they're going to keep ads out of everything. Well, apparently things have changed at MeWe and I'm not going to be a part of it for much longer. But if you had a group that you belong to on MeWe and maybe you haven't logged in for quite a while, or you've got a gun-related group over on MeWe, there is a pretty good chance that it's not going to be there anymore. So I'm probably going to go back and delete this video from 2016 that says MeWe, the next big thing for the firearms enthusiasts, because I was excited about it. They were awesome. In fact, they seemed very accommodating on questions that we had and issues that we ran into as we were trying to launch our pages, and they were there for us, and they're not anymore. So I just recommend everybody abandon MeWe if they're not going to change their stance on legal firearm sales and so on. So that's it, everybody. I just want to let you know about that. A little loss of some online freedom, I guess you could say, with what we can do and what we can't do with certain groups that we belong to. But in the meantime, I want you guys to like and subscribe to my channel. I'll keep bringing you the best firearms content that I possibly can. I want you guys to check out my podcast called Caliber Corner, which we host on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central Time. We might be taking a little break here going into the fall. But then we also host a podcast on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Central Time, and that's a different podcast from Thursday. But make sure you check out the channel. I got a ton of great content, and I think that's it. So I want you guys to have fun. I want you to be safe, and as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, take care and have a good one. Bye-bye.